Hello again, sports fans. Welcome to the chat, 717-334-3000. The phone is ringing off the hook already. It is week number 794 of Sports Chat. He's Cory Smith, I'm Jeff Cook, and we're delighted to have with us a full panel of guests from the Littlestown Thunderbolts softball team. Coach Loveless, you want to introduce the players you brought with you here today?
Sure. Coach Loveless, I have senior in front of me, Chelsey Stonesifer. Senior to the left of her, Bailey Rucker. Far left, freshman, Libby Brown. And right next to me is freshman, Olvera.
So, yeah, before we came on the air, we talked about what a great season you had. You started 20-0, I think.
I think it was 15-1, but it was close.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. But you won for the first time ever. You won the county tournament.
First time in school history they went
Talk
to the
about
county.
that, and maybe the players want to reflect on that as well.
Well, I could say 4 years ago, Bailey and Chelsey were freshmen, and we talked about that before COVID shut us down. We had a really stacked team that year as well. Mm-hmm. They didn't get the opportunity to play. A lot of those girls are playing in college. Amaya's Bauman's playing down at Mount St. Mary's, as well as other girls are playing. Mm-hmm. So it's always been something we talked about. My first year was their first year there together, so we kind of came through together, and we finally got one. I'll let Chelsey and Bailey talk about it.
Yeah, so the viewers might not appreciate this, but that means all divisions. So you're going against the biggest schools in York County.
1 through 4, correct. Yep.
Yeah, against mid-sized but mighty Littlestown. So go ahead, Chelsey and Bailey, reflect on that.
So going into it, we were playing DeLone for the semifinals game, and we won, what was it, 11?
DeLone?
Yeah.
It was 11, yeah. 11-1.
11-1. Pretty big game, gave us a lot of momentum to go into the finals, which was against Southwest, which...
So a really good team this year?
Yep, had a really good team.
1-0, or what was it?
It was a 1-0 game.
Wow, and you thought you were going to have another one. Well, we'll get to that. Okay.
But no, so we played, and it was a lot of 3-up, 3-down pitchers, defensive game. And then one of our freshmen, Ashlyn Gorsuch, ended up getting a 1-run home run that put us on top, and that was, the 7th inning?
We went, 7th.
And she's a freshman also?
Yep.
Yes.
Another stacked class coming up. Well, that's tremendous. Bailey, I guess you share in the enthusiasm for that accomplishment?
Yeah, I mean, it was a tight game. I knew our defense could do it. All we needed was a hit, and I knew it would happen eventually, and we got it, so.
So the stage is set, okay, for the first time ever, let's get to states. Or is it the first time ever it would have been, or in a long time? I forget.
For what, states?
Make a state tournament.
It was the first time since 2003.
All right,
if
so
it
that's
had
only
happened.
20 years. That's nothing.
Yeah. Nothing.
Before you were all born, but not Cory and me. Tremendous accomplishment. Your season, and I think I covered your game. Didn't you host a playoff game last year?
Yes, that was against Susquehanna.
First round, and that was another tough game.
That was semis, and that was a 9-inning game that we dropped by 1 as well.
Yeah,
so.
I think I covered that also. So it comes down to the finals, and your opponent's pitcher is going to be pitching college as well. So was it Upper Dublin? Upper Dauphin?
Yeah, she's going to East Stroudsburg, I believe.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Upper Dauphin. They turn out to be kind of a very similar team.
Yeah.
And 1-0. Izzy had the big hit. Walk us through that moment,
I really knew that I needed to back up my team and provide, and I just got in the moment, felt myself, and I just hit.
Do you remember the pitch? What you were looking? Was it the pitch you were looking for?
I mean, I think I was up in the count, so I'm pretty sure it was belt high inside, and that's usually my pitch. So
Yeah.
I got it.
Right in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And then, so it's 1-0, and what, 2 outs, I think, when they got the big hit. It was kind of a cue shot over third base. And, 2 runs scored on the play?
Yep.
Was that what happened?
Yeah, 2 runs came in.
Yeah,
down.
and then you had a couple more shots at it and just couldn't. So 2-1, another tantalizing loss.
Builds character, though, right?
Yeah. Sure
Yeah,
does.
oh, it does, for sure. So Libby, your perspective, you're a 9th grader. What does it mean to be part of this Littlestown program? And we'll talk to Coach Loveless about this as well, but it's not just a team or a season, it's a program. Are you seeing what's involved in being part of that process?
Yeah, it's a great program coming in. All of our upcoming freshmen, it's going to seem like it's going to be very good seasons coming up, and especially this season was one to remember, and I'm excited for the rest.
Yeah, so it sounds like you have a lot of talent coming back. Cory, I know you've worked a lot of material here, so I don't mean to steal your thunder.
No,
Go for it. Go ahead.
So this is a question for all. Is there other sports or softball, with the College World Series, is there a team that you look towards like, hey, kind of better my game or anything?
Oklahoma, the softball team in Oklahoma.
I was ready to break into song, but no. Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, how many in a row have they won now?
3.
And talk about a great season, what, 60-1 or something ridiculous
mean,
like that.
53 games in a
I don't
row.
care what sport you're playing. It's 53 in a row?
53, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. And I guess they'll probably have a lot of talent coming back next year.
Yeah.
There's something about playing for a winning program, and
Well, they actually had their starting pitchers leaving the program.
Oh, I did see that. With,
Yeah, she's going back to play in Nebraska, her home state. Yep.
well, I guess the softball players get COVID years too, don't they?
Yep.
And name, image, likeness at Oklahoma. I mean, could you play softball and be on a billboard?
Yeah, I
I
mean,
guess you could. I don't know. Limestone, you have name, image, likeness. Chelsey, I mean, you'd be able to. You know what I'm talking about, right? Where you can have commercial opportunities and college athletes at all levels. I mean, theoretically in high school.
Right.
But I'm glad, fortunately, we don't have that around here. So, but Limestone, tell us about the school. I think it's in South Carolina.
Yeah, it's a D2 school in Gaffney, South Carolina. It's more towards like the northwestern part of the state. They have a lot of student athletes, so it's like takes up most of the school. A really good softball program, one of the top like conferences in the country.
Lacrosse too, I think I've heard
Yep.
their name mentioned. Yeah.
Lacrosse, I know their volleyball is pretty good. They got a good football team coming up, so.
Now, is that a large conference? Will you be flying to away games, or how's that? Do you know how that goes?
Most of them are like decently around, but I know whenever it comes to playoffs, I think for this season or last season, it was like out of the 8 schools, 6 of them were in their original conference. So.
And now, Chelsey, I had this on my phone. It was in the paper in the Gettysburg Times the other day. All your school records that you hold. So when you don't pitch, is it shortstop that you play?
Mainly, yes.
Is that so? Are you going to have more opportunities to play in the field at Limestone just because, like Coach said, there are 10 or 12 people on the staff? So does that mean that you'll be like Ohtani, Shohei Ohtani, and pitching and hitting? And what do you envision there?
I'm not sure exactly where I'll be playing or if I'm starting. Obviously, I'll play wherever they put me as a freshman to start, if I can.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they're aware that you have some pretty gaudy offensive statistics as well.
yeah.
So now, Bailey, how about softball in your future at Stevenson?
I'm looking forward to it. They have a pretty good program and competitive teams, and I'm also playing field hockey there. They have a pretty good team as well, so
2 sports.
yeah.
Wow, very enterprising. That's a good question. I think you're getting at that, Cory, where, I mean, does softball require so much specialization that you discourage the ladies from playing other sports, or do you think that makes them better athletes, Coach?
what's that look for? We start off at the high school in November. We start with weightlifting and conditioning. So they're in there in November, December. January starts open gyms, and then we roll right out. Other sports are still playing at that point, and if they're in another sport, we encourage them to go to that. But we would like them in the weight room to start off, not bulking up, just toning, getting
Getting the muscles
getting
ready
the muscles right. So
Yeah, right.
But
Well,
yeah.
supposedly hitting a baseball or a softball is the single most difficult task in all of sports, according to Ted Williams or whomever, but it's a moving object, and so you don't want somebody to be muscle bound that they lose that hand-eye
So,
coordination.
but the thing with these girls that play softball, the majority of them, they play on club teams. They're playing 11 months out of the year.
Yeah.
So-
AAU or different. How's that work?
It's
in
like
softball?
USA, USSSA, what Pony League, whatever they're playing in. They got club teams and they're traveling to the Carolinas. I mean, Chelsey, where did you play at previously? Farthest away.
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. There you go. I mean, they're probably playing 100 games a year by the time they play club ball and
So
travel.
you're all playing right now, or?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All on the same team or different, what's going on?
3 of us are on the same team, and
Yeah.
Libby plays for a different team.
Is that a travel team or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
it's
okay.
a travel team. It's Panther Select. It's in York.
Okay.
Now with that, how many games do you play like in that type of season? Is it like 12, 15
She could
games,
play
or-
8 to 12 games this weekend, I'm sure.
Oh, okay.
So, and how many tournaments do you play a year? I mean, you probably play, because you're cut back down to the summer and fall. So whatever your tournament schedule is, and
Yeah, this summer it's every weekend, so it always depends on what our seed is, because Saturdays it's pool play, so they have a certain amount of games, and then Sundays it just matters how far you go until the championship.
yeah.
Just almost run on,
Oh,
run
it's
on.
and
yeah.
it's great. It's
Yeah.
great. And the thing is, you go to these fields and you see all the girls who are on the same team or play against each other during the high school season. It doesn't matter you're on different teams. They all hang out. They enjoy the company of each other. And,
Camaraderie,
oh my
just-
gosh, it's a tight knit in softball, and everybody's encouraging each other. Doesn't matter if you wear the same uniform or not. They're a fan of each other. So.
I guess the segue question, when you're at a game, is there any like superstitious? I know when I play baseball, I always had to kick the dirt a certain way or et cetera. Is there anything, especially as a pitcher, what's the go-to before games?
I'd say the biggest like superstitious thing that we did for high school is not to step on the foul lines.
Yeah, yeah.
There's still Major League Baseball players who do that.
I'm trying to think of other like I know for high school, one of the grandfathers on the team would always give me a mint before the game, so I'd always have a mint in the back pocket. Any other like superstitious
Cardi
things?
B. We're always pumping Cardi B.
Okay.
Yeah, listening to music.
Yes.
Isn't she a rapper?
Yeah.
So, do you have jobs during the summer also, or are you?
I'm getting one.
Okay, all right, that's good. When is there fall practice for softball at Limestone?
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the schedule is, but I know we have workouts, like morning workouts and team workouts and stuff, and practices. And I'm pretty sure we have like a camp for the softball girls, like that we help
Which,
run.
by the way, she's endorsing this fall ID camp to all the freshmen here, trying to get them to come up there and join it.
Yeah,
So,
but
The recruitment, you know.
yes.
So Bailey, you also have fall practice, is that?
Yeah, we'll have like the same thing, but I'll probably be like doing field hockey.
Exactly, you
Same
can't do,
time.
even you can't do both at the
Yeah.
same time, but, so field hockey, how's the program at Stevenson? I know they're, I think they play Gettysburg College and lacrosse and maybe some other sports. I mean,
Yeah, they play Gettysburg, Salisbury, York, a bunch of other
D3.
schools. Yeah.
D3. All right, I'm gonna, Cory, while I find this picture I took of
So looking at the season, what was the highlight of the moment? That was the best that you would say.
Probably that county's win.
Yeah, the county game.
We came together and we acted as a family instead of just like a team.
And even like the whole time, like throughout the county like championship, like we were always like really excited before the games, like getting ready, listening to music. Like I think that helped a lot. Like we were just all pumped up, like ready to go for every game.
Kind of take away the tension and just relax and just kind of just go with it.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking a season game. There's probably 80 people on the sidelines. You go to these county games and district games, and there's well over 300 to 500 people at both of them.
Yeah.
I've never seen that many people at a softball field, including a weekend tournament where there's 10 teams there. I mean, those county championship district semis was unbelievable. The town supported. I mean, it was crazy.
I'm sure.
Well, especially for home games, I mean, a lot of people can just walk to the game. It's a great setting. Let me read this from the paper a few days ago. Not everybody reads the paper anymore. Stonesifer led a talented Littlestown team to a 14-0 mark in divisional play and eventually the YAIAA Tournament Championship, the first in program history. As a senior, she batted .528 with 38 hits, 9 doubles, 5 triples, and 6 home runs. Stonesifer scored 37 times and drove in 33 runs, adding 21 stolen bases to her offensive resume. As a pitcher, she was even more dominant, stacking up 200 strikeouts while compiling a 0.843 ERA while going 13-1. So encapsulates how do you replace a player like that next year? I know you have a lot of talent coming back. How's this? I mean, you have obviously have pitching as pitchers that you're preparing.
We have a couple of them there. You can't compare a sophomore to a senior. Chelsey's not the same pitcher this year that she was last year. I mean, she's more relaxed. I mean, you probably agree with me on this. You take control of the game out there.
Yeah.
Where before she was throwing pitches that were called. Now she's coming in saying, this isn't working, that's working, or let's go at her with this. I mean, she's basically.
Who calls the pitches?
Coach Summers does.
And I think I deciphered that game last year. I swear, or maybe it was a game earlier in the season where the coach was using a number sequence, and I figured out the difference between a fastball and a curveball. But so I don't want you to give away trade secrets, but is it cards with animated figures on it, or how do you get your? There's no automation like in MLB where they have these technical devices.
Basically, it's the same system that they use for their club team.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't change anything.
So you assume that the catcher and the pitcher are both going to hear the call, and
yes.
Then, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's cool.
I guess the other thing is the repetitions from where you were 2 years ago to last year to this year is just the more confidence and everything like that there.
Oh, it is. I mean,
builds.
and I can speak for Chelsey because I have a daughter on the team that doesn't drive yet, but after practice, they would stay behind basically every night that there wasn't a game, and they would pitch and catch for an hour on their own. And
I guess until dark or something.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and it's, I would go up to the school to do something and, come back, and they're still down there practicing. So
isn't that beautiful? They were away from the video games and all that.
Oh, it's awesome. Awesome.
Out there getting fresh air, making your body stronger, and good stuff. We'll stay with it, and it sounds like there are lots of opportunities. I remember growing up, there was a team called the Ray Bestos or something like that. It was a women's all-star, Joan Joyce or something like that. This woman, kind of like Eddie Feiner, King in his court. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but it was a women's all-star team. So it was big then. So I mean, this is 50-some years ago. So it's great it's an Olympic sport. Mm-hmm. And baseball was softball not an Olympic sport for a while and then return to the fold,
Yeah.
just like baseball. They kind of,
Right, yeah.
yeah. So wiffle ball hasn't made it to the Olympics yet. I know, it's like rhythmic gymnastics, you know. If you're a rhythmic gymnast, I apologize. But go ahead, Cory. Cory always has an agenda. Nothing hidden. But.
No. So I'll do the shining star and the hot seat a little bit there.
Oh, yeah. And, ladies, chime in. It's something we do. Hottest seat in sports. And then at Cory's suggestion, we don't want it to be all negative. We also have the shining star. So go ahead.
Yeah, so the shining star, I'm going to go out to Oral Roberts, advancing to the College World Series. They are the fourth seeded team to advance to Omaha. So their run just keeps on going, and they're one of the 8 teams left to go to Omaha.
Is Duke still in it, or did they get knocked out?
I think they got knocked out.
Okay, all right.
So I could have went with the low-hanging fruit with the Nuggets win the championship, but I just went with Oral Roberts. The hot seat, I'm going to go with Wilson Contreras. He is batting 100, 3 for 30 with 10 strikeouts in the last 2 weeks.
And he's so poor defensively, they don't even play him there anymore. Is that right? Or
Off and on there.
yeah,
So.
yeah. Wow, good picks.
I do have the ET, the hot thing in sports talk there.
I better write this down.
Yes,
Okay, so ladies, E.T., anybody ever see the movie E.T. or hear about it? Well, that has nothing to do with this.
The ET,
Go ahead.
the
He came
ejection
up with it.
tracker. We track every MLB ejections from opening day to the end. I was way off on my number. I guessed 120 ejections in the season, and we are now at 97. 97 ejections. That is an increase of 9 from last week. So.
Yeah, and a little unfinished business here. We also made our predictions a couple weeks ago about the NBA Finals, and do we have any more of those crowns? I said Nuggets in 5, so
We got to get that for next week, yeah.
I picked it right. We're not gambling. We're not betting anything. It's just for bragging
Just for
rights
fun.
and yeah, an imaginary crown. So the Nuggets, ladies, you followed NBA at all? No.
Yeah.
A little bit.
I do.
Thank you. Yeah. So the Nuggets win their first ever championship. That was pretty cool. And Jokic said, "Now I get to go home."
Yeah.
So,
How about the owner? He's got the NHL. He's got a lacrosse, the Rams. Man, he's winning just left and right.
A lot of dough. What the Broncos just went for like $4 billion, and what the Commanders went for $6 billion or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Wow.
Now, is there like a certain, what's your favorite like sports team, not just softball, that you kind of,
Football,
Go-
basketball,
go
baseball.
towards.
What about, how about MLB? What do you like? I mean, or just it's softball or nothing?
These girls eat, breathe, and live softball, but go ahead.
Yeah. Probably the MLB, the Orioles.
How about those Orioles? Any Orioles fans here?
Yeah.
I mean,
Been to a couple
As much as
games.
you're a fan of anybody,
Yeah.
be honest, right? Yeah, okay. That's all right. You don't have to be a super fan. I'm a Phillies fan, so they're very frustrating to watch. But the Orioles, tremendous. Cory's an Orioles fan.
yes,
Is
yeah,
that-
they're, well, I got the
Oriole
orange.
orange?
Colors on
yes, yeah.
And yeah, how many games over 500 are they right now?
18, 19, they were on a
Yeah, they're
5-game
18.
winning streak.
What
and-
did they end up last year? How many games?
Just
like
a little
two-game or in a 2-season span, they've just done incredible.
Just up and up and up there.
Yeah.
So
When's Brandon Hyde going to win Manager of the Year? That's
Well, that's,
an oversight.
it's kind of going back and forth there. I guess we lost our caller, from the opening of the show.
Well, if it's
lost-
important, they'll call back. And if it's a heckler, so be it. So what else you got here? We sometimes talk football. What football news is there to report?
Mini camp just started, so
Yeah.
we got all that there.
Is that voluntary or is that
That's
mandatory?
mandatory now.
All right. So any
I haven't
big
heard
no-shows?
I haven't heard like no shows or anything like that there. I just heard it, just started there. So if you want to call in the sports chat, 717-334-3000. If you want to talk about anything about the sporting world or Littlestown softball, feel free to call in there. I guess the phone lines are working there.
If nobody's calling, there must be a problem with the phone
Yes,
lines.
yes.
That's always my explanation. So this is Triple Play Tuesday now, live TV. We're live, spanning the known world, the known universe. And at 7 o'clock, Trivia Live. You ladies can play on your phones. It takes 25 minutes. And now at 8 o'clock on Tuesday nights, race night. All things local racing and beyond. So it's, mark your calendars, every Tuesday, Triple Play Tuesday. So race night tonight, I think.
Yes, yes.
So this might be the first Triple Play. It'd be
Actually,
great.
last week was the triple play. That was the first of it. So we're the opener. So
All right. Had I known, I would have made more of a fuss, but it's all good. So Littlestown, what's the construction plan? I'm segueing here a little bit, but aren't they doing away with Maple Avenue?
Yeah,
School?
Maple Avenue.
Not doing away with it, but maybe they are. I
These
don't
girls
know.
probably know more than me, but
My wife, Mrs. Cook, taught at Rolling Acres, so
oh wow.
her school no longer exists.
The year that Rolling Acres got torn down, these girls, that was the last year that it was up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were among the last students at Rolling Acres. So. But I mean, I think the new field is great. Where do they play? They still play baseball at the same spot where balls can go into the bleachers, or I guess the alignment's a little different.
Word on the street is they had a backstop company come in, a fencing company, and they're going to make so the balls don't go on the street anymore.
Oh yeah, or hit the one. I read a letter to the editor where somebody's house was getting hit by foul balls.
We all know what house that is.
Yeah.
Where you touch the nerve. Okay. So, what's any idea what you might major in, Bailey?
Business administration.
Go out in the real world, make some money.
Yeah.
Good plan. Chelsey, how about you?
Exercise science.
Okay.
Trying to do like physical therapy, sports therapy type.
Kinesiology.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So what, Libby and Isabel, what are some things you learned from these two ladies in front of you about what it takes to be a Bolt?
Hard work and dedication. They work a lot, and they really kind of like hold the team together. They're leaders, and they motivate us a lot.
I can add on to Izzy. They show us aggression and how to stay calm and collective, because in certain situations, like Chelsey in the mound, like in that county championship game, it was probably a little bit frustrating and a little bit overwhelming, but she kept her calm together and kept telling us one run. We just need one. And Bailey, her aggressiveness is just, it's just, if you know her, she always goes out for the ball. She's speedy. She just has it there.
So you two have played softball together for how many years?
Me and you.
We played
A long time.
when we were younger together, like rec and like early travel, and then in high school.
Well, you've had great careers. We applaud you. So you talked about the Orioles. Do we have any other topics of MLB to cover?
I didn't have too much. I just
Okay.
have mostly.
Well, let's talk
yeah.
NBA. I mean, I heard, I just saw some stuff online about J.J. Redick criticizing Christopher Russo, who was saying, "Hey, Denver, they're no big deal of a team. You know, they're not. Don't talk about them as the greatest team ever or anything of that nature." And J.J. Redick, I guess, didn't agree with that assessment. So, what's your take on how good a team is Denver, and the fact that they beat an 8th seed. Is that going to detract from what they accomplished?
I'd say whoever you play is,
Whoever-
on your path there. I mean,
Who had the merit? They earned their way there. I mean, a great
Whoever's-
story for Miami.
it's almost whoever's hot is hot, and you just get to the title. If that's a 8 seed, a 4 seed, a 2 seed, a 1, that's whoever's there. So I don't see any demerit,
Yeah.
with that there.
Well, and just Jamal Murray, I guess it was a real coming out party for him with 2 MVPs. Everybody knew what Jokic meant to the program, and he didn't want to. I mean, you say, well, why didn't he win this year over Joel Embiid? I mean, he almost campaigned to not win it. He's so humble and so likable. He really didn't want to talk about himself, and
He wants to go home.
yeah, he's like, I finally get to go home. Maybe take the NBA trophy with me. I don't know, but just a beautiful person, and you feel happy for him. And Jamal Murray, like I said, 10 assists in I don't know how many he had last night, but he'll certainly be mentioned as among the top point guards moving forward. But yeah, they had a 30-point triple-double, each of them, right? Which had never happened before in history. So, well, listen, ladies, any questions you want to ask, or any shout-outs you want, any viewers at home you want to say hello to?
I mean, I don't know.
Okay. That was uncertain. Coach, so yeah, talk about what do you expect out of the successors on the Hill to Chelsey? Who might you mention as possible pitching prospects for next year?
Well, I mean, we got a couple. We got Ashlyn Gorsuch and Maddie Dubert right now. They're in the program. We got a freshman class upcoming. There should be 10 to 12 girls coming in.
Is there an 8th grade program, or is that just
They play 14U or
Okay. outside of school?
out of 8th grade coming into high school. A couple of them play on club level teams right now. So I've seen them at the field a few times, and I think we're going to be okay. I mean, Chelsey's going to be back. She's going to be helping. She's not done yet. She's got this whole summer to work with a couple of the girls before she leaves for college, and she'll be around. I mean, I was at the start of the season, I think we had 4 girls who had driver's license. The rest of them were freshmen and sophomores, couldn't drive, couldn't do anything. So we're going to be young next year. We have one senior next year, and that's a starter, and 1 junior that's a starter, and the rest are underclassmen. So
That's a challenge of coaching. Starting from scratch all over again.
it's great. It's a great thing to do because
Yeah.
you can start with them, and the players come back that are off in college and their time off, and they come to practices and they help out, and these two will do the same as well.
We talked about calling pitches. So how many pitches in your repertoire? How many choices do you have from the coaches? How many different calls do they give you? 4, 3, or just 2?
6.
6? Okay.
It depends what they can pitch. Some pitchers only have 3 pitches.
Yeah.
I mean,
oh yeah, right.
some have 6.
Changeup, fastball, rise ball. How can
We don't recognize a fastball. We never throw a fastball.
Okay, but isn't there something called a rise ball, which sounds like it's defying the law of physics?
Right.
Is it how do you throw a rise ball, or is that another trade secret?
I mean, it's just any pitch you throw, it's about how you spin the ball.
Yeah.
So with a rise ball, you just have to get under it and have like 6-12 spin instead of.
Okay. No, and I really enjoyed watching you pitch and the sequencing of pitches, and when you get people ready for the fastball, then you take a little bit off of it, and they get way out in front. So
Change up.
yeah, the changeup exactly. And I think in that game at one point you fanned at least 6 in a row or something. I know you got out of a jam in the first inning and struck out the side, or was that? I don't know what it was, but and you had 200 strikeouts for the year, so that's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I offered both of them a bonus year for COVID because they lost their 2020 season, but they want to go to college and not stick around again. So.
Yeah, I guess the PIAA might have something to say about that. I don't know.
I mean, we can put it in for vote, you know.
Yeah, I still have some eligibility remaining for, yeah. All right, we got a call. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Hope it's nobody we know. Hello, welcome to Sports Chat.
Hey, well, your panel will know me. I'm Libby's dad, Tom.
Well, good. We were hoping we wouldn't get a heckler. Sir, we know we're safe with you. What do you have to say to this group?
Mr. Brown.
Well, I just want to say that this season was amazing. It was like really fun to watch. And I don't know if Coach has touched on it or not, but just the bench strength of this team was phenomenal. At any point in time, you could call somebody off the bench, and they would step in and just fill the spot, and not a beat was missing. It was really nice. It was really enjoyable to watch.
Well, yeah, they had a great run. I did the story for the Times and was really happy to see them again. I told Chelsey it was a lot of fun to just watch her practice her craft on the mound, and obviously Chelsey and Bailey will leave a huge, they'll certainly be missed. So why don't you comment on that and give them some props?
Oh, yes, I mean, they were what led this team to the success they had this year. I mean, their leadership was so evident throughout the whole season, and they really set the bar high for the underclassmen coming in and coming up. So just to keep that tradition going and keeping that drive going is really valuable. And,
you know, Sarah, we want to thank you for, I know these travel teams, you know, there are a lot of hidden expenses, driving around, sometimes hotels or whatever. So I know, Libby, you probably really appreciate your parents' effort.
She better.
Here, I'm putting you on the spot here, Worldwide TV. But yeah, so yeah, I mean, Coach was saying that sometimes it's 11 months out of the year. So this starts at what age for would-be softball players?
I mean, they started directly, T-ball, so it's like 6, 7, 8 years old. They're really serious about it, and all the way through high school, college, as far as they want to take it. So it's definitely a commitment, but I wouldn't change a single second or day of it, to be honest with you.
And you got what 3 more years to follow the Bolts?
In high school, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
See where we go from there.
Yeah, we talked about Oklahoma, what an amazing team that was. So the Bolts have plenty to aspire to build on this year's success. So yeah, Cory, anything you want to ask Mr. Brown?
I think we kind of covered it there. So
yeah, Mr. Brown, feel free to chime in here if you want to say anything else to the ladies or to us. Talk other.
On a great season, and I'm actually going to miss watching you all play. So I can't wait till next spring.
Yeah. So who ended up winning the district this year?
What's that? I'm sorry.
Who ended up winning the district title this year?
Oh, Upper Dolphin.
Yeah.
The team that beat you.
Yeah.
Okay.
They beat Susquehanna. I believe it was 7-1.
7-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So close, so close. So anyway,
Sorry.
yeah, next year they wipe the slate clean and go for it
didn't win.
again.
They
And
won.
yeah, we talked earlier about what it takes to not just build
think State's
a one-season team, but to build a program that year and year can compete at a high level. And Coach, a lot of that credit goes to you, and I'm sure you have some quality assistants as well.
There's a bond there between us guys, and we all talk about we have practice plans. We know what we're doing, like a 2-week outlook. We know what's going to happen before 2 weeks ahead of time, and that's what we work on. Of course, unless Bailey or Chelsey comes up and says, hey, I'd like to work on this, then we'll alter it a little bit.
Well, how much BP do you have at a typical practice? That's batting practice, in case anybody out there doesn't know what it means.
Towards the end of the season, we went live pitching. We had some pitchers come back that played, that are in college now, and the last 2 weeks. We start off on every days, which is fundamental for, we're covering the bunt. We're doing short hops. We're doing backhands, forehands. We kind of got away from that a little bit during the middle of the season, and when we started seeing the slump happen, we brought it back in about 3/4 of the way through the season.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty important being able to swing the lumber and, well, are they metal bats?
They are.
Aluminum bats?
Composite.
They are very expensive bats.
Composite? They don't break though, you hope.
They do break.
Well, it depends on the temperature then
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
It's almost like there is no rebuild, it's just retooling. You know,
Oh yeah, we
kind of
just
going through
reload and keep
you know,
going.
the nature there.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of where we're at right now. We do work within the rec league. Occasionally I'll go down there. They'll ask, and the girls will go work with them on a practice. So we try to keep that connection between the rec league and the high school. I mean, we had a youth day, and there was a ton of kids there. It was awesome. It was great. And the kids were a part of the game. The girls came over. They were able to high five. They were out there for the national anthem. They got to run the bases at the end of the game. So we made them a part of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. We're almost out of time. We have a few more minutes. So, Cory, any items that we've not addressed?
I think we kind
The
of
golf merger, was that news, or do we already have that?
We kind of covered that
covered
last
that
week
last
there, yeah.
Nothing new to report there. A World of Racing, I don't really know much about that.
Well, the first Canadian, or in 69 years, won the Canadian Open. Nick Taylor in 4 playoff holes. So that was a very back and forth type of ordeal. And so that was the golf news with that there. But,
Yeah. Well, let's keep the Sauday fund out of softball. I mean, as much as it'd be nice to get $1 million to play softball, I mean, you have to draw a line in the sand, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right, so parting thoughts. Thank you all so much for being with us here. Libby, Isabel, Bailey, Chelsey, Coach Loveless, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Final shout-outs, parting thoughts, whatever.
Nobody's got anything really? I want to thank Littlestown community for supporting the team this year. You guys did a great job.
Maybe, well, depending on who it is and what their agenda is, we can maybe take this call. So we'll see. We're on the edge of our seat. Are we done? Could be a heckler. We'll try it. Okay, let's go live. Welcome to Sports Chat. Thanks for calling.
Yes,
Go ahead.
this is Cindy Staub. I was just calling to congratulate the girls on a fabulous season and say how much it was fun to watch them, and to wish Chelsey and Bailey great success in their college careers.
Beautiful. You sound like a big fan.
I am.
All right. So how many, did you go to a lot of games this year?
I went to quite a few of them.
Nice. Well, I know they appreciate your support, and will you still come out and support next year's team?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that Isabel and Libby, thank you for that, because it sounds like they'll be back. So, well, we appreciate your call. Any final shout-outs? Any parting words?
Just keep up the great work, Coach Loveless, and we look forward to next season.
You're my favorite fan.
Thanks.
All right. Beautiful. All right. I guess on that note, we'll sign out. If anybody wants to play trivia, just communitymedia.net/trivia. And after that, race night is part of our Triple Play Tuesday. Triple header. Yeah, triple header. So, ladies, best of luck moving forward. Coach Loveless, all the best to you in the Bold program. For Cory Smith, I'm Jeff Cook. Thanks to our live studio audience. We'll see you next Tuesday here on Sports Chat. Good night, everybody. Mahalo.